Hi, this is Mandy Allen from Outsource Explosion, and I'm on the webinar with Keith Purgis, also from Outsource Explosion, and we'd like to thank you once again for investing in our product. Today we're going to have a quick chat about some of the techniques that we use within the product and looking for your outsourcing tasks. But first of all, we'd just like to have a quick word with you about what we like to call the magic mindset method. Now, Keith wrote the part on the magic mindset method in the book that you have attached to this product, and Keith has actually admitted that he often thought that positive thinking was actually a load of jargon and that it was a bit of rubbish, really. However, over the time he has come to really understand what it is about getting into the right mindset and to actually engage in positive thinking and setting yourself up really to succeed instead of setting yourself up to fail. We have got a number of things that we do personally, both of us. I personally wrote an ebook some years ago on positive affirmations, and Keith now uses his social media outlets to give people a positive affirmation, a positive statement every day of the week. So if you join our Facebook group, you will certainly get that every single day. There will be one online for you. So within this magic mindset, we really do try and emphasize to people that it is about the way you think. You have to concentrate on what you're doing at every moment. Some of that is actually called mindfulness. It's about being in the moment rather than being in the future or in the past. You have to concentrate on each part of your strategy rather than the end result. So stop looking ahead to the end result. Actually concentrate on what you're doing at that moment. So you're going to commit yourself to the plan, and you are going to achieve each of those steps without letting anything else get in your way. So don't get distracted. Keep on going and don't give up. The thing about internet marketing, a lot of the time people have an idea of something they want to do, they're looking at the end result and they can't get there today. That's actually going to take a few days or a few weeks to get to that point, but because they can't get there today, they just give up. So don't do that. Don't be part of that something like 97% of people who start something but never complete it. Make sure that you actually just concentrate on what you're doing right now. You are heading towards that goal, but up until that goal, they are each small steps that you have to achieve, and actually give yourself a big pat on the back for achieving each step. Personally, I like to work on rewards. I'm a very reward-based person, and as soon as I have achieved something, I'll have a reward for that. And it might be something quite simple, like I will do an hour's worth of work on a product, and at the end of that hour I'm going to move away from the computer, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to have a cup of coffee and something nice, maybe a piece of cake because I rather like cake. But it's about having plans that you put into place that enable you to take a step each day, that you're not actually trying to achieve the whole thing in one go. So Keith actually uses something that he calls the 5-minute journal, and Keith, I wonder if you just want to have a quick chat about the 5-minute journal.
Yeah, actually I'll just open mine. It's actually a book was recommended by a mentor on Facebook, and it's got a lot in the introduction that can be helpful. But what you do on each day is you spend 5 minutes in the morning, and it will have probably a quote at the beginning, and then you list 3 things that you're grateful for. And I put health, family and home, because I know that's a bit short. You should probably put something a bit longer. Then it says what would make today great, and so down there you put things that are under your control. So you'd put I'm going to finish 2 pages of my ebook, or I'm going to go out somewhere. Just pick 3 things that you have control over. Don't put I'm going to sell a lot online, because you can't control that. You might not. And then you put a daily affirmation. I put I'm living life with passion and purpose. And then in the evening you put down 3 amazing things that happened to you today and how you could have made the day better. And then you can just look back and see which days you did the most, and probably just how you can improve, how you can keep moving forwards. I actually put a to-do list on my page as well, and you'll see I post, as Mandy mentioned, I post on Facebook daily a quote or sometimes a joke, and about half of those actually come out of this book.
And it's really great having that to-do list, isn't it? And be able to tick things off and say, okay, I've achieved that, I've achieved it, and it gives you a real sense of achievement.
Yeah, so I'm going to read, I'll just read one out of this, which is, "This is a wonderful day. I've never seen this one before." That's just an example of a quote you'll get at the beginning of the day. Okay, so that's just something I use, which is quite good, so
yeah,
it's worth having a look at anyway.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so one of the other things that we would like to introduce to you today is the fast focus framework. And this is actually something that Keith does, and it's a little trick to get projects done faster. So Keith, do you want to just talk about the fast focus framework?
Yeah, I mean, this is really simple, but as we mentioned in the introductory video, if you buy 4 gigs on Fiverr, you get it for $21 instead of 1 gig would be $6, because they charge a minimum processing fee of $1. So what I do is I'll order the 4 gigs, and then I have to get the information to them quick, and that forces you to get the job done. I don't like prepare every single task. I just think I need an article, I need some backlinks to my site, I need a graphic done. I'll just order the 4 jobs, and then quickly I've got to work out what I need and post. So yeah, the other part of it I've put here is you can use a timer. I actually borrow my daughter's timer, which is a pink pig, and it turns around, and you can set it to 50 minutes. You've got to get your tasks done within that time, and then you take a 10-minute break, which is, like Mandy was saying earlier, it's sort of a reward. You take a 10-minute break, go for a walk, and then you can do the same thing again. So that's it really, just a couple of simple ideas.
And again, it's sort of tied into the mindset really, to have a strategy and actually stick to your goals and have those little steps that you take and achieve all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, and that moves us on to the next section really.
Yep. So we now go on to the proven planning pattern. So this is basically about actually making your plans, and you have to make those plans in order to succeed. So if you don't have a plan, you don't have a to-do list, you don't have a set list of tasks for that day, you are just going to sit around reading Facebook or reading your emails or just flicking along through the internet from one thing to another. I think it was Sally Neal said that she was addicted to YouTube for a while, and she realized how very much it was impinging on her ability to have a creative day and actually do work. And I think we've all probably been there, that we've kind of got a bit addicted to all of this amazing amount of information that we can find on the internet, and we just kind of flick from one thing to another. So one great technique actually is to plan tomorrow today. So today, at any point during the day, you need to be planning for tomorrow. So if something comes up in the day while you're working that needs to be done that you can't achieve today, put it on your list for tomorrow. At the end of the day, think about what you're going to do tomorrow, make your list, and then you can work through your list, you can tick your items off, and you can feel that sense of achievement that keeps us going. So we then move on now to the 3-step profit system. So Keith, would you like to just chat through the 3-step profit system for us?
Yeah, I'm just scrolling that down. Yeah, this is a really simple idea, but you can grow it into a big business. The key to this is keeping it simple, really. So I've just made it 3 steps for this one. So first of all, I would choose a product that I've bought, which might be a method of sending traffic to a squeeze page or your affiliate links. Then I'd work out how I can automate it or outsource it as much as possible. And then when you get results in, you just scale it up as much as you can. And that's really all you need to do. I know it sounds simple, but most people overcomplicate things. They'll probably get to this first step and think, well, how many different methods could I use? Which one should I use? And then, is my squeeze page quite right? Maybe I should buy a squeeze page generator or some templates to make my squeeze page. And then, how do I know which one I'm going to use, and which affiliate product am I going to use? And they'll just go off on an endless, like in an endless circle of trying to work out what to do. So really, you just pick one and go with that. And this is probably the reason why so many people fail. You need to stick to this simple plan and keep going.
Yeah, yeah. And as we've said several times, it's about the mindset, it's about making that plan and actually doing the steps that get you to the place you want to be. So we're then going to move on to the trader system. Now, we mentioned this on the sales page, and this is the system that Keith uses to run his business, and he's broken it down into 6 easy steps. So his trader system is T for test, and in that he will experiment to find out what method works best. And he's going to really look for the methods and techniques that actually work. R is then for reduce, so you then simplify and systemize. So you're going to test, find out what works, then you're going to reduce it down. So simplify it and have some sort of a system in place. A is for automate. So he uses a lot of software to automate tasks. Actually, Keith is very good at creating software to automate tasks, which is really good. One of the things that I've known recently about him is that he created something that helped him to check all of the sites that he'd got very easily without actually having to go through them manually, each one. D is for delegating. Delegate, outsource any tasks that can't be automated. And as Keith says himself, he finds that quite hard. If he can actually do something himself, he tends to find it hard to delegate. But you need to be successful, so you need to delegate. You need to make your 24 hours in the day last as long as they possibly can. You need to get as much out of that 24-hour period as you can. And obviously, if there's more than one person working at any one time, you're going to achieve many more tasks. So do delegate. E is expand, so we're going to then scale up. So whatever you have done in the last 4 steps, you are going to actually then scale up and then repeat. So you're going to do the whole thing again. And that enables you to create enough of a business to actually make a regular income from it. And at the end of the day, that's why we're all doing this. Would you like to add anything to that, Keith?
I think that pretty much covers it. Just on the repeat section, there's actually 2 meanings to it. Yeah, you can repeat what you've just done, and you can also repeat in terms of pick another method and go through the whole system again.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I should give a quick example. Would be is setting up affiliate sites on WordPress. The simplify part is the first one. You've probably got to set it up, the whole thing up, and pick all the plugins and pick the theme. When you do it again, all you have to do is clone the whole site, and you've saved probably 20 minutes, half an hour. It's just a really simple example of something you can do.
Yeah, yeah. And we were talking earlier, actually, when we were discussing this particular product and how there's a lot of things that we can just kind of copy into another product instead of having to start from scratch again.
Yeah, I mean, we would just clone the whole site, and then the members area is done, the JV page is done. You've just got to edit it to fit the new product. But there is a lot of work to doing anything the first time, even like an ebook like this. This is a template. So we did one template and then used it for all the ebooks. I think we've got 4 in the front end, so yeah, and some in the upsells. So we've got quite a few, but we only had to do the setup once.
Yeah, lovely. So